app permissions, and how to protect yourself. Thanks to Sander van Hezik for his excellent article on this topic. Find out which app permissions are necessary, which are sketchy, and how to protect yourself. If you take the time to read the permission requests, it can be a little jarring. While some of those app permissions are sketchy and unnecessary, others are essential for apps to do the things they're designed to do. So how do you tell the difference? Here's a breakdown of which app permissions are necessary, which are sketchy, and how to protect yourself. So why do some apps need permissions? The majority of time, apps need permissions because they need that information in order to function. So, for example, Google Maps will ask for permission to your location because it has to know your location in order to tell you how to get from place to place. Less directly, Instagram also asks for your location so it can suggest location tags. But those are just two examples of application permissions that make sense. However, while Google Map needs permission to access your location in order to function, Instagram simply wants permission to access your location in order to provide a few features. It doesn't need it. It's up to you to decide if you want that location feature or not. Instagram will still provide you with a stream of pictures, even if you don't share your location. Google Maps, on the other hand, will be pretty useless. Here are some common app permissions. Location permissions. There are two common location permissions that an app might ask for: network-based location and GPS location. Network-based location lets them figure out your approximate location based on nearby cell towers and Wi-Fi access points. GPS location allows them to figure out exact location using GPS, cell towers, and Wi-Fi access points. Camera access. Some apps take photos. Others let you video chat, and those apps need access to your camera. Others probably don't. Modify, delete, and read storage. This permission gives an app access to files on your computer, including your photos. Some need access in order to create temporary logs, while others, like Instagram, need access in order to allow you to share saved images. This is one that you should scrutinize when it pops up, as it does give some access to potentially personal files. Read your contacts. While some apps need your contacts to function, most don't. They may be asking so that they can autocomplete names so that you can more easily share content, or to spam your contacts in search of new users, as LinkedIn so infamously did. Phone status and identity. This permission allows apps to recognize when you're getting a call and pause the app while you answer it. Full network access. Allowing full network access means you're giving an app permission to access the internet via your device. Most apps need the internet to function, so despite the scary sounding name, this one usually makes sense. Read and send text messages. Apps might want permission to read or send text messages on your phone because they're a messaging app or because they need it to utilize two-factor authentication. So what app permissions should you be aware of? So far, app permissions look innocuous, right? It's obvious that Google Maps needs to know your location. So problems arise, however, when apps pack a bunch of permission requests in together, including ones that they don't need. Developers sometimes include app permissions they don't need as a mistake, but sometimes, maybe even often, they're put there on purpose. The point of those permissions is to gather data about you, the user. That data can then be packaged and sold to a third party without your knowledge or permission. Well, it's technically with your permission because if you click yes on that list of app permissions, then you've given away your right to the information that those apps collect. Do apps have malware? That's another issue, especially for Android. It's that some apps have malware. Giving them access to deep parts of your phone puts you at further risk than you might be from just downloading the app. The best way to protect yourself from malware infected apps is to only download apps from trusted sources, like the Google Play Store. How to protect yourself. So what do you do? The most important thing you can do is read the app permission requests. Then ask yourself, does the app really need this permission in order to function? If the answer is no, then you shouldn't authorize it. And if the app won't let you use it without that permission, and you're sure that it doesn't really need it, don't use that app. Find a different one that does a similar thing. There are many apps to choose from. Another thing you can do is to view the app permissions for an app before you download it. On Android, simply scroll down to the bottom of the apps page in Google Play, and there's a link to app permissions. Check those out before you download, so you're not caught trying to decide last minute about whether they're necessary. You can also manage your app permissions on both iPhone and Android, even after you've granted permission. On Android, go to the Settings app, then click on Apps. That will bring up a list of all of the apps you have installed on your phone. Click on any app and then scroll down to App Settings to see which permissions you've authorized. You can then turn any permission on or off at any time. On iOS, you're also going to go to the Settings app, scroll down to the list of apps at the bottom of the screen, tap on the app, and then choose which permissions you want that app to have and which ones you don't. Now that you know that not all app permissions are necessary and that not all of them have your best interests in mind, it might be a good idea to go to the settings on your phone and review what permissions you've enabled. Pay particular attention to games and other non-essential apps that may have asked for more than you realize at the time. It's your privacy and security that you're protecting, which makes it worth spending a little time to get it right. Stay safe, stay secure, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.